So here's the thing, you guys. We want to jump in and get started. I'm Sean. This is my wife, Ty.
Hello.
We love doing what we're doing right now. This is our calling. We feel called to do this, and we want to enlighten people, and we want to open people's minds and their hearts and their spirit and their soul, just to understand what's going on in the human body, in our society, certainly in the US, Canada right now, what's going on all over the country. And we need to recognize some things. We need to understand that everything is so much simpler than we make it out to be.
Yes, everyone overthinks it.
Overthinking, and it always comes back. It always comes back to the gut.
Yes.
It doesn't it?
Follow your gut.
Oh, listen to you.
Gut instinct.
Gut instinct. It always goes back to the gut. So we're gonna.
Hey, I gotta give a shout out to my mom because I just noticed my mom's on here.
What?
So I'm impressed,
Mama,
that she stopped all of her millions of things that she does.
Yeah, out in Arizona.
She's watching me. See, she must miss me.
That's probably because what was her show she watched?
Oh, Survivor.
Probably because that's not on.
Yeah, it's not a Thursday night.
Okay, so here's the thing. Let's give you a little backdrop. Why are we here? What do we do? How do we get here? So about, I don't know, man. I don't even know what year. It's been close to 20 years now that I met Ty, and it was an amazing day. She tells me all the time. But the cool thing about meeting Ty was not only did she tell me she wanted to save the world, that was cool.
I'm working on it.
She's still working on it. Now she's got me working on it.
And now I have all you guys.
A lot of people working on it.
That'll be working on it.
I was I was in Arizona in my mid-30s. I was head high school football coach, and I'm holding my hands because I was suffering with arthritis. It was not very fun. I was going to specialists out there in Phoenix and Scottsdale. And I was hearing a lot of different things, and I didn't understand why I was in this pain. I was in my mid-30s. Why would I have this arthritic pain going on? And I was already trying to live pretty healthy. I had lost my mom to colon cancer back in, man, probably 6-7 years prior to that. And so I was trying to be more preventative. I was doing my own research. But when I met Ty, man, I'd never heard about plant enzymes. I'd never heard about probiotics. I never heard about, whole food supplementing. I never heard about raw food. I didn't know what I didn't know, right? Until she taught me, and that was about 20 years ago. And the story kind of goes like this. When I went to see Ty, I knew she had worked with a lot of doctors at that point, athletes, and I really didn't care. I was kind of out of options. I didn't know, what her background was or what did she study. I just knew that she was passionate. And she wouldn't be working with professional athletes or doctors if she didn't have an idea of what was going on. She was coming from a perspective of a holistic perspective, right?
Very holistic.
Not what I was used to. We'll just kind of leave it at that.
Right.
So here's the bottom line. After about 4 days, maybe 5, I think it was about 4 days, I remember driving my car out in Arizona and all of a sudden noticing I had no more pain in my hands. I was kind of blown away. I was kind of freaked out. And I remember picking up that old heavy cell phone. We joke about that. You could lift, remember those brick phones, you guys? Well, I'm showing my age, man.
Yes.
I don't hide my age. I'm 54, You'll be 50 soon.
I'm catching up.
So I don't want to hear about it. So
I'm going to be 49 and holding.
No, you're not. You're going 50. You're going 50. Okay, so I pick up my phone. I call. I say, look, I don't know who you are, blah, 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 but I just have one question for you. I have no pain in my hands. Is the pain going to come back? And you remember that?
I said yes if you don't listen to me.
So you don't listen to me. So, okay, I'm going to listen to you. She says, you need to come see me again. So I went back and saw her, and obviously she's very beautiful, and I didn't want to tell her how jacked up I was on the first visit. I had just talked about my hands. But what I shared with her when I went back to see her, I said, Ty, listen, I'm the youngest of 8 kids. I have really bad acid reflux. It runs in my family, apparently. A lot of my siblings experience it. I have indigestion, and I haven't experienced that in a week, all week. And is that from these enzymes, these things you're talking about? And she says, yes, you need to listen some more. And so we kind of just started talking more. I started researching more, and one thing led to another. And, even like 6-7 weeks later, I remember my plantar fasciitis was gone. You guys, if you ever had plantar fasciitis, man, it's no fun. I used to pay for those orthotics to be made to put in my shoes.
The girl was just telling me the other day.
Man, I crawl to the bathroom in the morning when I wake up because I couldn't put all my weight or my pressure on my feet. It was not fun. So that went away, and I just like, man, everyone's got to understand this. So finally, after like 3 years, decided to start a company or a business or whatever it was to educate. And that's kind of the path we went down, right? I mean, you remember that? And
it's all about education.
all about education. And you guys, here I am 20 years later, whatever it's been, with no pain in my hands. It's never come back. I was never medicated. That's amazing. I've never had indigestion again. I've never had acid reflux again. I wear bare feet. I can go barefoot.
Can you wear bare feet?
I wear bare feet.
I like that.
I like bears. I get some bare feet slippers. I go in my bare feet.
Yes.
Flip flops.
Stay grounded.
Stay grounded. Right? I don't need orthotics to save all my money on that.
Yeah.
Nonsense. Those are funky.
Don't tell everyone that sells orthotics.
Just kidding. Okay. And away we went. We just started helping people and educating
and then it got crazy.
And working with some products, and we started working with some professional athletes, and
it got crazier.
You guys, some
word of mouth.
NFL, NBA
when
athletes,
works,
NHL. Yeah,
talk about it.
That's true.
It was crazy.
And I don't like to just be talking general. My favorite was Steve Nash. If you guys know basketball, former Phoenix Sun and Laker. He was a 2-time MVP of the NBA. He came to us back in 2010.
And he was funny. He played soccer.
Yeah, he was a cool athlete.
He ate healthy.
Yeah, and he was really into it. He really ate clean. He wanted to do things in a clean way, and so we got to work with a lot of people like that.
Not all the athletes eat clean.
No.
Lots of naughty.
It's pretty trendy too.
They didn't know.
Like you could see the different types of athletes in different sports, and it's pretty interesting.
Well, and different sports were more compliant than others.
Yeah. And the ex-athletes.
A lot of my baseball guys, you guys weren't very compliant.
That's true.
Don't know why that is.
No. Oh, they're baseball guys, man. They're a little bit rowdy. A little bit rowdy. But some NHL guys, they were pretty compliant.
I know baseball guys with an audience.
They're kind of, yeah, man. They're okay. All right, so here we go. So next thing you know, we're in, I don't know, a bunch of stores like Whole Foods or vitamin shops. We were doing things. And anyways, came full circle. We got off our path. We had to get back on our path. We had to get back to doing this and educating. And we've been traveling, speaking, and doing these talks now for the last, I don't know, 12, 15 years.
Everywhere.
We've been doing them all week. We've been doing them all summer. We've been traveling across the U.S.
Everyone wants to listen to us.
Yeah.
Or that's just me.
That's just you. Yes, you guys need to listen to our show. I can just take a break for a second, and you guys, right?
You have people on here saying they feel your pain. So you have people who are dealing with same feet issues and other issues. So you weren't alone with that.
It's no joke. And to now be 54, we're a blended family. We have 6 kids, 7 grandkids. To feel 100% is amazing. Most people I know at my age, most people I know in their 30s or even 20s nowadays, they don't feel 100%.
No.
They feel, I don't know.
Well, actually, people, they forgot what feeling.
No. They don't think it's possible. I think they just think they're getting older, their body's been through more. Come on.
It's happening to them, and that's just, I'm getting old.
So that's, yeah. Anyways, we're going to change your perspective.
Yes.
We
are fighting against old.
That's right. We're going backwards.
Yes, age backwards.
It's really about how do you feel and what's your quality of life, and that's where everything begins. Everything begins. I'm holding some fresh and living food.
I thought you were going to juggle.
You want me to?
No.
Okay. Want to do that?
I mean, if you can, I'll be impressed.
I got apple.
I might break something if I
try
to
impress
juggle.
You.
Yes,
you can try to impress me.
Yeah, I impressed you by rowing.
A lemon, a lime, fresh and living
Whatever
food.
was in the kitchen, we ate everything else.
Pretty much. They're going to kick us out of here. Tylene's aunt and uncle, they've been super gracious, but they're about to boot us.
That's what happens when your house is really nice, you live on a lake, and you cook really good. So,
yeah.
Really hard to get rid of your guests.
Good luck. Okay. So here's the thing. Ty taught me also back in the day about fresh and living food, raw food. When you eat an apple, Sean, you know it's just giving to your body. I won't bite it. I want to. You're giving nutrients. You're not taxing the body. You're not putting any pressure on the body. You're just giving nutrients to the body. But if you cook that apple, Sean, and make apple pie, now you're going to kill it. The enzymes or the life force of that food are now dead. And you're going to have to hopefully have enough of these digestive enzymes in your pancreas to help you, spit enough out to help you break down that apple pie, which is super tasty.
Right.
Maybe a little vanilla ice cream or something.
Oh, you're getting crazy now.
Right? Right. So I want us to talk really specific, zoom in, focus in on the gut and Ty on enzymes, really. I mean, can we do that?
Absolutely.
Because you guys, everything, Ty's been saying this now close to 20 years, whatever it's been, that everything starts in the gut. She's been teaching gut health for a long, long time.
Yes, I've been talking about poop for 20 years.
That's okay. That's the other end. That's the other side.
A clean colon means clean blood, which means disease-free.
Clean colon. You guys, that's super important. I lost my mom to colon cancer, like I was mentioning, and man, she couldn't poop. My mom was amazing. She was an amazing lady whose life was cut short because she didn't poop enough.
No, and it's crazy because no one talks about pooping because, you know, not one of those subjects you talk about at the dinner table.
But, you know, yeah. And you wish you knew, you always say, well, I wish I knew now, or then what I know now.
Tons of women have that issue. They'll tell me, I haven't gone in 3 days, I haven't gone in 5 days. And I'm like, well, did you stop eating? No, they're still eating like 3 meals a day, every single day, and then not going. So you can only imagine the pressure on the colon is not good.
Let me make a little comment. So you guys, let me break this down a little bit, like Ty did for me back in the day. This food is full of enzymes, it's full of life. The life force is in it because it's raw. It's, you know, it's plants.
Hasn't been heated.
Hasn't been heated. Fruits, vegetables, whatever. And the deal is, or the mystery is, when we're born with our pancreas. And Ty's going to talk about this, but we don't know kind of what our kind of a little bank account, Ty, or battery of our digestive enzymes. We don't know how many we have. And now what's happening, you guys, I had arthritis in my mid-30s. Now we're seeing 6- and 7-year-olds. What? 6- and 7-year-olds with arthritis? That's ridiculous.
Unacceptable.
Diabetes, infants, babies with diabetes. You guys, this all goes back to the gut. This all goes back to the body being able to handle things on its own, and we've got to learn how to take the pressure off. The body's super smart, you guys. You have to give it a chance to see what it can do on its own to heal itself. See, because none of us are drug deficient, right? Doesn't that sound goofy?
No, it's crazy. Hey, we have to talk a little louder.
We gotta talk louder, okay.
They're saying our volume. So we gotta,
all right,
we gotta go a little East Coast.
Can I go East Coast?
I'm East Coast, I'm a little loud.
Like, is there anything like I could crank up here?
I don't know if we control the volume or if we just need to project our voices.
Nah, well, you guys, that's because I'm West Coast.
I'm
we're
loud,
just
normally.
mellow. So when Ty talks East Coast, you guys would be turning your volume down.
When I talk, the whole computer shakes.
The whole room shaking when she talks. She has, you know, do you have an inside voice?
Not really.
West Coast voice.
Not really.
All right.
We're getting some good questions on here, though, so I definitely want to cover some of those.
Let's get going. I want you to dive in with your East Coast voice and let them go.
So Sean's talked a little bit about fresh and living food, so like the apple, but it could be a carrot, it could be celery, it could be broccoli. Doesn't matter. It could be salmon that's never been cooked. So sashimi, that would be a fresh and living food that's never been heated over 116 degrees, 118 degrees, where all of the enzymes are killed. So now you're putting more pressure on the body to have to extract the nutrients from that food. This has food enzymes in it. There are 3 main types of enzymes I want to talk about tonight, and there are food enzymes, which Sean just covered, and then he covered a little bit of digestive enzymes, which is actually, as you start eating, that will be what's in your saliva. Your body will start producing the amylase in your saliva so you can break down your carbohydrates. Then you have, in your pancreas, you have all of the digestive enzymes that your pancreas will manufacture. Okay, those are digestive enzymes. Then we have metabolic enzymes, and that's where anti-aging comes in, which I really don't cover that too much because we never have enough time. But the reason you want to do this is to reverse the clock and to have a better quality of life. That's the key, the quality of life. Because nowadays we can hook you up to just about any machine and keep you alive a long time. Yeah. Basically, so we can get all your money. But we can keep you alive a long time. Well, not us, but whoever we is out there, whatever machine you're hooked up to.
That would be they. That would not be we.
No, not us. Okay. But so in America is really what it is. Right. You can be hooked up to a machine a really long time and live a long time. So we're not talking about just the fact that you can stay alive. It's about the quality of life. It's being able to wake up in the morning and go do stuff. Like I saw my mom online. She wakes up in the morning, early in the morning, and goes and plays pickleball. And then she goes and plays volleyball. And she's 77. That's what you want. That's quality of life. My grandmother is going to be 102 this year. Ooh. I know. Quality of life. She still gets up and does her food and walks around and she has all her wits about her.
Can I talk about Nan just for a minute?
My mom probably doesn't want her to have all her wits about her because my mom, she still gets told what to do by her mother. So can you imagine living with your mother still and your mother telling you what to do when you're 77? That is funny, but but she's got quality of life. She's not in a bed sick and ill.
You guys, check this out. Like 18, 20 years ago, whatever, when I met her, her hands were like this. Hope Nan's not watching. They were like bird claws. They were like claws, man.
Hey, you don't need to do sound effects.
Oh, yeah, I want you to do sound effects. Now her fingers at almost 102. She'll be 102 this year. They're like this. Wait, I go this way. Except one slightly bent pinky. They're all normal, you guys. And then Tylee made her pinky stay bent like that.
Yeah, I said, Nan, that's just for you to drink your tea.
It's not right.
But it's about the quality of life.
Yes.
And so that's where the metabolic enzymes come in, because what happens is, so when you eat cooked food, whatever cooked food it is, you are going to pull from your enzyme bank account if you have any in there. So right now in America, because we're overfed, we're eating far too much cooked and processed food, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, our drinks are pasteurized, so those are also cooked. So all of that is pulling from your body. And you don't know what you started with in your pancreas to be able to have it spit out enough enzymes. So we're having this pancreatic insufficiency where we're not processing all of our food. And really, they're looking in the research is every 10 years. So 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50 on up, we're running out of 10% of our ability to digest whole food groups. So you've heard about lactose intolerant, where you can't digest milk sugars. But what we don't talk about is all the other ones. One of the newest ones we hear about is gluten intolerance. No different than being lactose intolerant.
Protein.
It's protein, but because it's called gluten, people don't realize it. They're thinking, oh, well, I just have a gluten issue. And they think it's isolated. But what's happening is your body's not spitting out enough of the protein splitting enzymes to turn that into something the body can use. So anytime the body doesn't break down your macronutrients, your proteins, your carbs, and your fats, your large molecules, your macronutrients, if your body doesn't break that down all the way to its most usable form, it will become toxic. It will be something that sits in the extracellular fluid of your blood and cause issues. So when Sean mentioned when he met me, his hands were hurting, his feet were hurting, all of that, that was buildup of uric acid. So if his body had secreted enough proteolytic enzymes, protein splitting enzymes, they would have broken that protein down that he was eating to an amino acid. So the body could have utilized it to feed his brain, feed his muscles, and he would get more amino acids for his body. So not only was he not processing his proteins, so he's got this uric acid in the extracellular fluid, but he also is amino acid deficient because now he doesn't have any amino acids. And amino acids are the building blocks of life. So all kinds of things can start going wrong. So really, really, really important. I mean, I could just go on and on and on.
You guys, you got to understand, everything does start with digestion. When you eat something, it basically is going to take priority over everything that's going on in the body. All signals are, okay, it starts when you start chewing, right? You start chewing, so the signal to the brain is, they're getting ready to start putting something in here, and it's getting ready to start spitting out enzymes. I mean, Ty, even chewing gum.
Right. A lot of people don't even think about it, but
it's like a pump fake in basketball.
Yeah.
You're faking your body out.
And so you're chewing gum.
Yep.
The signal is, hey, we need to spit out some digestive enzymes. We need to get that hydrochloric acid going because your body thinks you're going to be eating something. So it prepares your body to start digestion. So you're actually just frivolously wasting these enzymes.
No.
Which goes back to, once you've wasted your enzymes, you have these metabolic enzymes that do all of your body functions. It's what's allowing you to listen to us right now. Metabolic enzymes do everything in the body.
Okay,
and when you're out of them, you're dead. So they're really important.
Come on, man.
I'm just saying it like it is.
She's East Coast. West Coast, we don't say you're dead. We don't do that. Okay, but let's break this down. This is a lot of information. So a lot of brand new people hearing Sean and Ty for the first time. What are these enzymes in here, Ty?
Those are food enzymes.
Food enzymes. Simple, right? It's alive. It hasn't been heated, cooked, or processed. Our pancreas. We're born with our pancreas full of our digestive enzymes.
Digestive enzymes.
And you guys are familiar. Tylene mentioned running out of lactase. Now you're lactose intolerant. Just means your body can't break down milk sugars. That's it. For me, you can call it whatever disease you want to or whatever. My body can't break proteins down to an amino acid that the body recognizes. It doesn't know if I ate a chicken breast, piece of salmon, a protein bar, some beans. It doesn't know. It's looking for the amino acid, right? When I'm eating protein. That's what it's trying to deal with. So heat it, you kill it. Does that mean we eat all raw food? No, we're not raw foodists. It's very difficult to eat all raw, fresh and living food. We've done that.
You want to incorporate a lot more of it in your life. That's the goal.
Totally want to eat more fresh and living food. Our goal is 80% a day.
And that's a good day.
That's a good day. That's a high goal.
Right.
I think the average American is probably about 5% fresh and living food.
Right.
It's not so good.
No.
Maybe they should go to 10.
Yeah, most people, they're lucky if they eat an apple.
So just take it up a little bit. And what we're finding is based on, look, here we are. You guys, come on, let's just be transparent. Let's be honest. We're the sickest generation the U.S. has ever seen. We're jacked up. We're jacked up. After World War II, the food changed. We started canning our food, TV dinners, fast food, blah, 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 chemicals into the food, not to mention everything else. We're just talking food right now. Microwaves, those are awesome. Not.
Yeah, those have got to be good.
All of a sudden, from generation to generation, it's caught up to us and it's boom, it's got us. So now we have kids with all these issues. People are running out of these enzymes because they're so deficient from the time of birth. And that's a big part of this whole thing is we can prevent that by eating more fresh and living food. We've got to get back on track. We shouldn't be as sick as we are. Everyone on here probably knows someone who's dealing with something. It just is what it is. Your body is so capable. It's so smart. You got to give it a chance to do what it's capable of doing. So we talked about food enzymes. We talked about our digestive enzymes in our pancreas. Now,
a little bit of metabolic.
Now Ty's going to talk a little bit more. We were talking about, I just wanted to break it down.
Yeah, and I want you guys to understand, so all of a sudden you're lactose intolerant and you decide, I really want this milkshake. So you go and have a milkshake. So you know you shouldn't, and you know that you might get gassy, it might be uncomfortable, but you go and do it anyway. So what comes to your rescue is your metabolic enzymes, because you're not supposed to be doing it because now you don't have the digestive enzymes that are really going to break that down. But the body's not going to let you die from drinking a milkshake. But over time, that food that's undigested, whether it's a milkshake or whatever you're intolerant to, starts seeping through the lining of your intestinal tract, where nutrients are supposed to go through the lining of your intestinal tract. Now this undigested food is going through. It's going right into the extracellular fluid of the body. And then your white blood cells that have all these amazing metabolic enzymes that can go to work will engulf this debris and help you out. But you start doing this every single day, you're wearing down all of your metabolic enzymes that come to your rescue. They shouldn't be there for that. They should be there on high alert for if you got a really bad virus that they need to fight. So I used to explain it like firefighters, that you keep calling every single day and you say, could you get the cat out of my tree? And then you do this every single day, and the firefighters are like, okay, keep getting this cat out of the tree every day, and they're just exhausted now. And now there's a real emergency. There is a real fire. But because you kept calling them to get the cat out of the tree, that they're exhausted and they're not going to do as good of a job, and you wasted their time on a regular basis. And that's what we do, because it's not like you're going to die from eating a burger tonight. You're not going to die from eating a burrito tonight. This is over time. Every single day we do something that's just constantly aggravating our body.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner,
creating
snacks,
low-grade inflammation. So most of us walk around, don't even realize it, with this low-grade inflammation all over the body. And then we're taxing our metabolic enzymes. We're using them up frivolously. We're pretty much out of our digestive enzymes. The body's just not spitting out as many. I see a lot of people over here talking about diabetes. So think about your pancreas. What else does your pancreas handle? It's going to handle your sugars. It's going to handle your insulin. Everything, when you start taking pressure off the pancreas, which is part of your endocrine system, So if you're taking pressure off of part of your endocrine system, your thyroid will work better, your adrenals will work better. If you want to really take some pressure off, all the caffeines and everything are taxing your adrenals, which also pull. So each thing works synergistically together. It goes back to the body being one unit, one
works
part.
Together.
It's one body that we have to care for. And right now, I mean, doctors are so compartmentalized where you have like ear, nose, and throat doc. You have a foot doc.
It's just,
and they're
it's
just
advanced. Western medicine's
it's
advanced.
super advanced, but it's very compartmentalized.
Right, and they don't talk
to each other
because they know what they know. And they're really good at what they know right there in that thing, but they forgot about this part. And what about this? And how does that affect that? And
they want to
let's just rip this part out. You don't need that anymore.
Yeah, no, you don't need your gallbladder. You don't need your appendix. You don't need your tonsils. Let's just take it all out.
Cars.
Yeah.
No, they don't treat us as good as cars because cars.
Right.
They put your stuff back in.
Exactly.
They give you a new one.
Yeah. Right now they just rip it out and then they don't give you a new one.
So really the big thing here is your metabolic enzymes are supposed to fight viruses, keep you healthy,
do everything,
make your
keep
eyes
your heart functioning,
everything, right? And heal injuries. And you don't want to be using those because Ty Loomer was accurate. When you run out of metabolic enzymes, you pass. They're the life force of your body. So you don't want to use your metabolic enzymes to digest your food. Doesn't make sense. You want them there to do what they're supposed to do, like keep you alive. And I want to say something. This isn't, people thought we were wacky 15 years ago or whatever. You guys, this research was back in the late 1800s, got pretty good, right? In like the 1930s.
It got more prevalent.
More prevalent.
Some books were written in the 1930s.
Pushed off into the corner, so no one really got to see it or know it or understand it. And I just want you to realize that this is the real deal. This is what's changing lives. We've been changing lives for a long time. This isn't the latest and greatest thing. It's the same message. It's the same thing that has worked, and we've helped thousands and thousands of people over the years. And I just want you to understand, we both want you to understand how simple this can be if you would just listen and give your body the chance. I will not eat anything heated or cooked without a full spectrum plant enzyme. Right? I mean,
they don't know what that is. Why don't we show them?
We can show them what that
Let's
is.
show them.
Let me show them.
Absolutely.
All right.
We have a fun little demonstration
for you that Ty Loomer showed me 20 years ago.
Forever and ever and ever, because I'm visual and I feel like people learn better visually. So most people don't know what an enzyme is. They kind of know what a probiotic is.
I'm visual, man.
I'm visual.
Come on. All right. So we do this with like oatmeal or different things.
Here, they can't see it.
Okay. So this is a pudding.
There you go.
Nasty little pudding.
It can be any pudding. It doesn't matter. This is just.
It's just an example of a cooked, heated, processed food. And no matter how hard I stir it and stir it and stir it and stir it, keep it in the camera.
There you go.
I can stir it.
You can do it all day long.
I can just keep stirring.
Be thick and nasty.
Keep stirring. As hard as I can. Really stirring. Oh, almost came out. Stirring.
Pick it up with a spoon so they can
so you guys can see this.
To the spoon.
Sticks. It's like
thick and nasty.
Now we got to get vanilla. That just looks funky.
No, but I always say, I'm like, do you want that? Do you want that on your gut or your butt, or do you want to process your food? Like, it's just going to sit around.
East Coasters, man.
Yeah, just say it like it is.
Just say it like it is.
Eating late at night, too. Bad.
No go.
Bad. We don't even have enough time to go into all the things I can tell you.
Okay.
But
so I stirred and stirred and stirred, and you guys can see it is what it is. It's dead.
Yeah, it's dead food.
Okay.
So here, I'll keep holding it so you can see.
But
that way they can see.
Oh, that you don't trust it? I'm going to.
No, they don't.
Okay, so.
It's not me. I like it.
It wasn't me.
People are visual.
So I
don't
have my readers on, so I can't see if I get
So even the capsules, a vegetarian capsule, just so you know, in case anybody cared. But I
don't think I got all. Here, I'm going to put my other one in because that one I left half.
You're all right.
Because, man, you know,
don't have your glasses on.
I got these little reader things. My eyes are getting better, so I got to stop. I got lazy.
The cell phones are lazy on our
putting readers on the cell phone. Okay, so we just put a little veggie capsule, open it up, put our full spectrum plant enzyme.
There you go.
So you just
all
over me.
I can just see the camera. So
what I do without you?
I know you. I don't even know what you do without me.
I don't know.
But we did get some compliments on our purple, by the way.
We did?
Yeah.
We have purple.
We have purple.
Hey, you know what?
I didn't dress him. He just.
Listen, it's a big day for me. I have a shirt with a collar on.
Yes. Yeah.
You guys probably have never seen. I don't even.
Professional for.
Yeah, professional.
For them.
I have a collar on. Just thought it'd be cool to wear a collar. right?
So I don't want you guys to get hung up on that this is even pudding. This is to mimic any cooked and processed food. So literally anything. Mostly people's breakfast in the morning, they wake up, they have scrambled eggs, they have toast. So scrambled eggs are dead, toast is dead, bacon's dead. Then they have a glass of orange juice, dead, because it's pasteurized, or a glass of milk, pasteurized, dead. Then for lunch, they're having a tuna fish sandwich, the tuna, the mayonnaise, the bread, all dead. And then,
dead.
yeah, very dead. And then for dinner, people are having pasta, dead, meatballs, dead, whatever they're having. They're having, you know, cooked sweet potato, dead, steamed broccoli, dead. So I don't want you to get hung up on the fact that this is pudding and go, oh, well, I don't eat pudding. This isn't about me.
No.
This is about you. If you eat cooked and processed food, we're talking to you.
Any food that's heated.
Anything.
So just any food that you cook, you kill it.
Right.
We all do.
Good, bad, and different. Doesn't matter.
I don't even need to keep stirring this. But,
Oh.
Okay, wait.
Here, I'll hold it so they know that.
Tylene thinks you won't believe me.
Yes,
So,
we don't want you to think it's magic trick,
Yeah.
even though it's kind of magical.
okay, you hold this,
Yes,
Vanna. And I'll go over here.
I'll be Vanna.
And I'll get this. Can you have brunette, Vanna?
Yeah.
Is Vanna brunette?
No,
Hey, I'm asking you a brunette question. It's pretty serious.
Vanna's
Okay.
blonde.
I know, so you can't be Vanna. We need a new name for you. Okay,
I don't know.
here we go. Can I pour it? Ready?
Blondes were more popular on those.
All right, here we go.
And we did not get it on the keyboard or the computer, so we're good.
I'm not going back.
But you can even see,
That's it.
look at that. You can even see in the cup, it's even taken it off of
Off
the pudding
sides.
cup, off the sides. So what's happening here, just so you guys know, enzymes are substrate specific, meaning a specific enzyme, the plant enzymes that were in that capsule, they can only digest a specific food group. So lipase can only digest fats. So you can't eat a steak, take some lipase enzymes, and hope that steak is processed. Really, only the fats that are in that steak will get processed. So what was in that capsule is a full spectrum enzyme, meaning you can eat a Thanksgiving meal.
Thanksgiving meal.
Right.
How do you usually feel after Thanksgiving meal?
Big and fat and full and
Just like,
lazy.
maybe you go lay down on the couch and watch some football, which isn't such a bad thing. Check this out. Man, I just load up on these plant enzymes when I eat a big meal, or even on Thanksgiving. I run around. You guys do hear me on this. You run around and go play some football with your family or friends.
That's the goal.
Instead of laying down. You're supposed to get energy when you eat. We're not supposed to want to take a nap
Right, exactly.
when we eat, right?
No,
I don't know if
exactly.
people understand that, man. Everyone's napping. It's like nap time when they eat.
I wish I
Not
could
when
take a
you
nap.
eat fresh and living food. It's like, man, I got full. I'm energized. I'm ready to go. And that's the moral of the story here is you want to get energy from the food that you eat. You want to eat nutrient-dense foods. You want to eat more fresh and living food. But we're going to eat food that's heated sometimes. That's cooked.
Well, because it tastes so good, and we're living in America, and there's good food on every corner.
Well, and maybe different cultures,
Yeah.
or where you live, it could be really cold, and you want to.
Well, people
Some
might
hot
want
soup.
some soup.
Right?
Right, exactly.
So the moral of the story is eat more fresh and living food. And when you eat your food that's cooked, heated, or processed, you've got to take a full spectrum plant enzyme. And can you just talk a little bit, let's talk, Ty, about, just for a second, also in that little veggie capsule of these full spectrum plant enzymes are stabilized probiotics. Did you guys know that your gut health is everything? Your immune system is, like they say, 70 to 80%, depending on what research you look at, of your immune system lives in your gut. So you want to have, we have a little maintenance supply of stabilized probiotics. So every time you eat, you're getting a little bit, which is a really good way of taking probiotics.
Yes, exactly.
And stabilized meaning they're in a cryogenic state.
They're
sleeping nighttime.
And they wake up with the moisture and
Yeah.
the warmth as you eat them. But they're shelf stable, meaning they can
don't need to
sit in your
refrigerate them.
cabinet for 2 years, and then they'll be just as effective 2 years later when you take them.
So-
and they'll colonize really well in your small and large intestine, which is really, really huge.
She's saying they'll colonize really, really well because they don't have to be refrigerated. They can live in your body temperature. Because if you're refrigerating, you're buying probiotics that are refrigerated.
They're also making it
It's a
through the
tough time.
acid of your stomach.
Yeah. So anyways, it's really important. Pro-life, probiotics, anti-life, anti-against, right? Antibiotics.
Killing everything.
You take your antibiotics, and sometimes, you do what you do. but you're just wiping out all your good, friendly gut bacteria.
Definitely not butt bacteria.
Butt bacteria.
But that was funny. I kind of like that.
Butt bacteria.
I guess it kind of is.
Oh, stop talking naughty over
It's
there.
just funny.
So gut bacteria, then you can.
Your tongue tied today.
Yeah, I am.
You've been.
It's a collar.
Phone. He's been on the phone.
Not a collar.
He's been
Collar's
on the
got to be all
phone.
choked up. I have a collar. Okay. So a little bit of friendly bacteria, probiotics, stabilized probiotics.
And you need several different strains.
Yeah, you can't just like get a yogurt.
Yeah, you just don't want just one. And then the
good.
problem with yogurts is you're also sending in all of the fuel for the bad bacteria, because in yogurt you may have one strain of bacteria, say like acidophilus or bifidobacterium, but it's also going in with a ton of sugars. And then the sugars are going to feed the bad bacteria. So if people just got off of a ton of the bad sugars, fruit sugars are very different, because you're going to have the fiber that's going to cancel out a lot of the sugars. And so fruit is really, really therapeutic for you and amazing for you. It's the donuts and that type of stuff that's not so amazing for you.
Donuts?
Yeah, just not good.
Do people still eat donuts?
Oh my gosh, there's a donut place on every corner. At least as we get closer to the East Coast,
yeah, what's
there's
up
a
with the
lot.
Donuts? They're everywhere.
They do smell good.
You kind of smell
They're
pretty
just not very good for you.
By the way, you guys, we're not perfect, man. We don't eat perfect.
We don't want to be perfect.
No.
Perfect is no fun.
We're not perfect. We try to
be.
We treat ourselves, and we're not,
good.
you know, we don't teach weight loss per se. Let me tell you what happens when you use that full spectrum plant enzyme. You get more energy from your food. You may become more regular. You may not. You do need to be pooping, you guys. When you're processing out your food, your stomach flattens out.
The reason you may not go to the bathroom more, like you would think, is because some people are so nutrient deficient. Going back to the donuts, they're eating a lot of empty nutrient food. So they may have calories in it, but there's no nutrient value. So what happens is, like, we're the most overfed, undernourished society that there is, because we're eating all these foods that really don't feed us, which is also why we're getting overweight, because our body is saying we're starving, we're starving, we're starving, but it's starving for nutrients. And what enzymes do when you take them with your food is they unlock that nutrient potential of that specific food. So that's key. So if you're eating donuts and taking enzymes, yeah, it's better than eating donuts and not taking enzymes, but you want a nutrient dense food. Like a sweet potato is one of the most nutrient dense foods on the planet. If you're cooking that, you want to make sure you take an enzyme with it so you can get all of that magic from that food. Are you reading the comments?
I'm reading the comments.
No, they're the best. Like it's very distracting.
Yeah, look at Sam
It's
Felix.
distracting, but I love it.
I love the honesty of Sam Felix. I eat them like candy because I eat hot dogs, sausage, pizza, cheese, chips, a steak. Mix it up.
He's going through a bottle a week. So the way you take them, so actually I'm glad Sam mentioned that, is because the best time to take them is at the beginning of your naughty meal. So as you're getting ready to have a burrito or something that you know is just going to sit in your stomach, and even a protein bar, whatever it is, if it's cooked, you want to take that enzyme to unlock the nutrients. And the older you are, it goes back to what we were saying earlier, every 10 years we're losing our potential. So as we're older, like when I'm 50, I'm going to have a lot less than enzyme potential than when I was younger. And you don't really know what your enzyme potential is, but you can feel these things. I'll give you an idea of knowing that you're running out of enzymes. One, you have issues. You start having indigestion. You're not digesting your food. So instead of running over-the-counter meds, like even just Tums and Prilosec and any of those things, they stop digestion and they push the issue further into your colon. So later you have all these colon issues, diverticulitis, colitis, Crohn's, I mean, you name it. So that's not the answer. The answer is right then and there while you're eating, start taking an enzyme with the cooked food, but start noticing things when you're eating. And then you can tell that you're kind of like, your enzyme potential is low. Like if you eat, say, pizza, which is bread and dairy, two very allergen type foods that people have issues with, you'll notice people will sniff, or they'll clear their throat after they eat, or they'll blow their nose, or they'll sneeze. Those are definite telltale signs that that food is aggravating you. So pizza's an easier one because it's got the bread and the dairy, but it could be a bowl of cereal. It could be a bowl of cereal with milk.
And cheat days kind of maybe check some of these.
Yes.
So here's the thing: when you're eating, in order to get all the nutrients from that food, it has to be broken down to the smallest molecules. So that's step one. When it's raw, fresh, and living, that happens. When it's cooked, you're relying on your pancreas to hopefully have enough specific enzymes for that each part of that food group to break that down. So that's why we're saying plant enzymes when you're eating heated, cooked food. Okay, the second thing is you've got to process that food out of your body. Acid, whatever, move it along, poop, so it doesn't become toxic. And that's where I think everything, you guys, you have to understand this. It's going to become toxic to the human body. It's going to get rancid. It's going to putrefy. It will show its head as something. It'll rear its ugly head as some issue down the road. That is so important. You need to understand that. Why did something go wrong in the first place? It happened for a reason. And this is why we're in this state. You guys, it's happening for a reason. We have to recognize that. And then if it's not digested out of the body, man, Ty, now it's floating around in the blood. Now your river of life, it's all jacked up. You got all kinds of funk.
Well, that's where the disease starts. We definitely don't have enough time, because I'm looking at the time, for me to go into how disease is created.
Wow.
I know, we have so much to say all the time.
You want to talk a little bit about that?
Man, I just want to be respectful for your guys' time.
You guys want us to talk for a few more minutes, or do you guys want us to knock it out?
I'm just reading all these different things that people
so many
have.
things. Do you want to talk about stuff?
You know what, let me just read. This should come up some disease stuff, just because for time. I want to read to you just some little tidbits today from a magazine I was reading, which is just this like little free pickup, like Good Health, at just a local place here in Illinois. So more than 95% of cancers are non-hereditary, which I've been saying this forever, like only 5 to 13% of all disease, so not just cancer, is actually hereditary. I've been saying this a long time. So non-hereditary, and can be influenced by your diet and lifestyle choices, okay? That's one thing. And then the other part of the article is chronic inflammation. So what did I talk about earlier? Sean talked about it. We start having, with these foods that aggravate our body, a low-grade inflammation throughout the entire body, okay? Chronic inflammation. I don't know if you guys can see that. Woo! Chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation is the spark that ignites all disease, okay? All disease in the body.
All disease.
Including cancer. All disease.
All disease.
Because I'm not playing around. But, I mean, this is great because I've been saying this for years, but all disease, hold on, let me go back. All disease in the body, including cancer, in the simplest terms, in order to prevent cancer, you need to prevent chronic inflammation, okay? So, and I can go into that further, but one of the first things you can do that helps with inflammation throughout the body is, one, stop the madness, start taking an enzyme with your cooked meals, or eat more fresh and living raw food as much as you can do. Do both.
Both, not an or.
Yeah, right? I mean, unless you're going to be a complete raw foodist.
Right.
You want to do both. You want to eat more raw food, and you want to take some plant-based. Plant-based is the key. Full digestive enzymes.
Every time.
And
you guys understand, it's been like 20 years, whatever, that I haven't eaten processed food without it. No. Remember I said I've never had my hand issues again, never had acid reflux, never had indigestion. You guys, this is life-changing stuff to feel like I do, and it's because of food. Let food be thy medicine. Right. And I'm not perfect, man. I eat cooked food, and man, I'm in Chicago. I had to have a slice of pizza, maybe 2.
I know, but you haven't had enough.
I haven't had enough. But man, I took a bunch of enzymes. You know what I mean? And people are like, Sean, do you live in the gym? Like, no, man, I don't have time to go to the gym. We say the world is our gym. We like movement. But I mean, you guys, I can see my stomach, and so I'm like, where did this come from over the years? And it's because I started breaking down my food. And now imagine for 20 years, I haven't eaten cooked or heated food without it. 20 years. So it's never too late to start. It doesn't matter your age.
You can ask my mother, my grandmother.
No, you're
me,
pregnant women, whatever.
Everybody.
But my point is, you guys, you only have one body.
That's it.
This is your temple.
Yep.
What are you doing with it?
Gotta take care of it.
Take care of the temple, man. And it isn't hard.
No,
it's not
give
hard.
the body what it needs, and it will heal itself. It will
Take
heal
the
itself.
pressure off of your body.
So the other way that you can do it, because I was just thinking, was empty stomach. So we're talking about taking it with your food.
Yep.
But if you already have a pile of issues because you're like me, you're almost 50 years old, or maybe you're 60 or 70, you're never too old to learn this, and you're never too young to learn this. Because if you're young, you're going to conserve your natural enzymes in your body and live a really long time. If you're older and already have a bunch of issues, the goal is taking it with your food to stop the madness, but also taking it on an empty stomach. And I want you guys to know what an empty stomach is. So about an hour after you've eaten, your stomach should be empty. And then about 30 minutes before you eat, you should have an empty stomach. And then about an hour before you go to bed, you could take 2 to 4 capsules before you go to bed and let it work systemically, meaning it will go through the bloodstream, through your whole system.
Whole body. Clean it up.
Looking for undigested proteins, fats, sugars, anything that didn't get processed through the day and ended up sneaking into your extracellular fluid. It will then clean it up. And that's where you're reading all these people's testimonials. If you guys have some cool testimonials, just throw them in here so anybody seeing this can read, what's happened in your life. If you've been blessed enough to have tried these already, share with others for sure. Share with others your story. A lot of things we can't say, so definitely share.
I just wish people would understand that if you clean up your blood, everything changes.
It's your river of life.
It's your river of life, and just like a river, we're out here on this lake, or we saw a river earlier when we were out there kayaking.
Yep.
If the water's flowing, everything's cool, man. And then
Oxygenated,
logs and sticks
healthy.
And stuff away, then it gets stagnant, right? Starts to cool, and all the funk starts.
Yeah, as soon as regular water gets stagnant, that's when people start freaking out because the mosquitoes come and the algae.
And it starts growing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing in your body. When you have all this undigested matter floating around in your body, it's stopping your river of life so much that how many people do we know out there that are on blood thinners because they have thick, dirty blood? It can't flow, which is putting pressure on everything.
Everything.
The heart, you've got heartish. I mean, you just go on and on and on. Yeah. I mean, how about they put them on a blood thinner? Now they have thin, dirty blood.
Yeah, when you said that, you made me remember another thing I was reading earlier. 70 million Americans have hypertension, which is high blood pressure, with elevated risk for stroke and heart attack. Still the #1 killer. Yeah, it's crazy. Well, no, but get this. Cancer's in the running.
Of course.
The war on cancer. I like this. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can even read it because the lighting in here.
It's kind of dark in here.
Okay, so the war on cancer, waged by President Nixon, began over 40 years ago. I can barely read it. Yet tens, hold on, I will borrow his glasses. So do I look smarter now?
You look sexier. Librarian look.
Thanks, baby.
Kidding.
Thanks,
Right.
baby. These are really magnified too.
I think
so
you wear those.
I can
often.
really read this now. Okay, the war on cancer waged by President Nixon began over 40 years ago. Yet, trends indicate that cancer is expected to become the leading cause of death in the U.S. by 2030, according to an ASCO report. We've spent years walking for a cure, running for a cure, shopping for a cure, but we haven't focused on what really counts, eating for a cure.
Simple.
Yeah.
Simple.
It's crazy.
I think what's hard about wanting to believe this
is it so simple?
Is it so simple? And it's food. You guys, you just change your eating
Let
habits a little bit.
food be thy medicine.
Let it do it. You can do it.
And when you want treats, take an enzyme.
And we can't really go through all the river of life and blood flow, but you guys.
No, we're done. We're done.
Everything, we're done?
Yeah, the hook's going to come out.
We're getting a hook right now?
We're going to.
Why?
Because.
Man, we're getting a hook?
Facebook Live, man.
Oh, they're going to hook us.
People's attention spans are
short.
Now.
I like these testimonials, man.
I'm excited you guys have hung out with us this long.
Man. Yep, there's so many cool things going on. You guys, we want to be able to do this, frequently and help in any way we can. And we want you to I want to recap. We're saying to eat more fresh and living food. We're saying everything starts in the gut. It's not, well, it is what you eat, but it's really what you digest.
It is what you digest what you actually absorb.
Okay, so more fresh and living food, full spectrum plant enzyme like what I just showed you, little stabilized probiotics when you eat your heated food, cooked food every time. Take it away from food, it'll work systemically and clean up all this debris going on throughout the body. We know we're not getting enough good nutrients from our food. It's a whole other conversation. We want you to have a good multivitamin from food and plants. That's really important. Mm-hmm. We want you to have good brain nutrients. And we got a lot of brain stuff going on out there. We do have something that we use, really a plant-based, we do something for the brain because the brain is deficient. We all know that. Yes or no, do you know anyone that is suffering from depression, anxiety, ADD, ADHD, ABCD, EFG, now more than ever? I mean, it's happening. We can change this. We need to change this. We have to wake people up, man. This isn't hard. And that's what this is all about. Ty wants an enzyme army.
I've been wanting an enzyme army forever.
For a long time.
I see a few recruits on here that.
Yeah, some recruits.
That are part of the enzyme army.
We appreciate.
Helping me for years, so I appreciate all of you. I see your names on here.
We appreciate Jeff and Kat for allowing us to come in and spend a little time with you guys. You have some amazing people out there that are sharing this information that truly.
They're passionate.
Yeah, they're passionate. They want to help people change life. They want to help people make a substantial difference for themselves and generations to come. You guys, they're telling us we're the first generation that's anticipated we're supposed to outlive our kids.
Which is crazy.
Forget that, man. That's not right. That's not acceptable. All these things are going on. We can change this. If we do this together, we can change this. We have to let people know. We have to make people aware. This isn't complicated. I promise you. She's been saying this for 20 years. Now you're seeing these people on TV and these doctors and these gurus, and they're all saying what she's been saying for 20 years. It's happening. Things are happening for a reason. Get on board. You guys, get on board. Start tonight. In the morning. Take your enzymes. Make sure you eat more fresh and living food. Don't eat late. Give your body a rest. Take pressure off your body.
The whole thing with everything we're teaching is take pressure off the body. People are asking what to eat. For sure, the easiest way to get fruits or vegetables in your diet is just blend them up. So you can just get a blender and
blend your fruit.
Whatever you like in there. But you want to blend the fruits because you don't want to juice them because it's too much sugar. And you still want wonderful fiber. That fiber feeds your good probiotics.
Right.
So even if you're taking, like the digestive enzyme that Sean showed you with the probiotics in it, they're not going to colonize well if you keep feeding the bad bacteria. So you're actually going to get a lot of gas and a lot of uncomfortableness because the good guys are going to start fighting with the bad guys. Yeah. And you want the good guys to win. That's the goal. But